that one exact moment which uh, brought you to take that decision to leave that well settled Fortune 500 jobs and to enter into entrepreneurship plunge? Agentic AI, are they uh, well educated, or are they well open to adopt agentic AI into their systems?
It's not like you're not getting paid into the jobs, right? You're getting well paid actually. It's a big decision that you need to kind of leave something which is first thing deterministic in hand, our own lip syncing model. So it works, outperforms pretty much whatever I have seen, at least out there in the world.
Today we have Agent KK with us on our show, who is the co-founder and CTO of Whilter.ai, working with big industry giants and making their marketing easier like never before, and who is also a mentor of change in Niti Aayog, Government of India. I welcome Mr. Krishna Kumar Tiwari to the AI Bros show. How's it going, Krishna?
Thanks, Caf. It's going quite well. It's a great experience to be on this show. And if I talk about this particular journey, right, from starting from what I say, research labs to doing different jobs, and this entrepreneur journey is way different, way exciting. It's kind of dream come true to build something from India for the world, right? That's
Right.
what we're doing at Filter.
Right. Interesting. So let's dive into your story of entrepreneurship and your experiences. So I think we should start with your background. Where are you originally from? Like, where did you started your journey, and how did it ended up founding Wilter AI?
Yeah, great. So I came from Ayodhya, which is
Okay.
a well-known place in Uttar Pradesh. Lord Ram is the birthplace of Lord Ram, and
Yeah.
I got my pretty much initial basic schooling done from Ayodhya itself. Graduated from IIT Guwahati, so I was there in Guwahati for around 2 years. Then from there onwards, right, I got opportunity to work with multiple, what do you say, Fortune 500 companies and research labs. Started with IBM Research, then went into Oracle Server Technology. Then I was with Samsung Research Development Institute. I was within Mobi, Geo. So these were kind of my professional experiences where I got a lot of opportunities to build the both the platform engineering stuff, the ML engineering stuff, the data science angle. I was kind of owning the fraud detection prevention suite at a few of the places.
Hmm.
Got opportunity to build the knowledge graph platform from the scratch. And while doing all this, right, it was something. It was there in the mind that okay, because I know the domain well from both the engineering and the data science angle, and one of the good thing, or at least discussing with the great minds, especially with the friend circle, right, it turns out that you get good ideas on day-to-day basis, right? It's just about the
Right.
execution. And this is not the first time we started something. Actually, in the past also I started with Water Hub when in 2011 to deliver the water bottles. That was the first kind of unsuccessful or not a successful startup, but it was a
Right.
great learning to how to build an app and do the delivery channel integration and do the sales and all together as a founder. Then started something called Vishrupt in between in around 2016 or something, where the idea was to build a platform for farmers, and how the way we are secure as a job, right, how we can make
Yeah.
sure that farmers can get that kind of what is a safety in hand and utilize the
Hmm.
latest tech, AI and all to kind of figure out how to best utilize their land, right? I
Okay.
think that also didn't floated well. The reason was that when you do something full time, right, that becomes the then it becomes the real game. And
Right.
that happened in Formulate AI. We started Formulate AI. In that we built a true mentor platform, did a lot of services on the AML side, and it was growing quite well. In between, I met with my other co-founders at Filter, where we thought, okay, if we need to build something, right, let's make a dent into the universe. Where when it comes to the, because I was already having that tech experience, and if you see the
Hmm.
boring messages which comes to to WhatsApp or SMS, right? It somehow feels that it needs a revision. So whatever B2C communication happening right now was not up to the mark, and we shared the same goal that okay, there
Mm-hmm.
is a great opportunity here where we can kind of help the brands to do the B2C communication better. And that was the
Mm-hmm.
inception of Whilter.ai, where we thought why not to utilize Gen AI, build the foundation models here in India itself, talk about building something which could be very which where the lip syncing, voice cloning, all this should work for the Indic languages, not just for the foreign faces or the foreign languages. And
Mm-hmm.
coming up with this along, attaching it with the brand objectives, right, to help them get better ROI of their campaigns, right? That makes a very good business model too, right? So it
Right.
was
Mm-hmm.
a fun game where you are able to generate a value, you are able to generate a value for ROI for the brand communication and their campaigns. At the same time, it is very tech heavy, very data science heavy, right? So that was the excitement where we started with Filter, and it's going crazy. It's going quite good.
Interesting, interesting. Even I see some of your LinkedIn posts about the success of Filter AI and how you are collaborating with many big giants and big brands out. So we'll discuss out in the future of podcast. So as you were talking about how Filter AI started and like how did you met your co-founders and then you got something about Filter AI and then you initiated towards it and now Filter AI is under in existence right now. So, is this the only vision of Vilter AI to uh, to provide better communication channels, B2C channels to connect big businesses with the consumers, or is there anything else which Vilter AI includes?
No. Actually, the idea is to disrupt the B2C communication for the
Okay.
brand and enterprises. And when I say the B2C communication, it contains any kind of a communication. You want to educate your customer, inform
Mm-hmm.
your customer, do a cross sell, upsell kind of a scenario. So, any kind of a communication which is happening right now in the world in the
Mm-hmm.
textual format, we have the capability to kind of convert it to hyper personalized images and videos. And
Okay.
why it is more interesting is, first thing is, like if you see the attention spam, right? It's all
Yeah.
attention trading. So right now the attention you have on the videos is 30x 40x compared to what you get on the static text or images like that, right? And think
Right.
about a video or an image where it actually, if I talk about a video, right, it's taking your name, it knows that what you have done in the past, and the brand is
Mm-hmm.
giving you some more details around that, right? So that gives a personalized feeling, that because it's the emotion game also, that brand knows you well. And at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
when it is crafting something, it is crafting just for you. You're not uh, what do you say, one out of billion. Actually, you are actually unique, and you get, what do you say, the personalized way of offers, personalized way of, what do you say, any kind of a communication happening, and that
Mm-hmm.
gives a lot of value to the brand who cares for their customers. And that was missing in the previous world. If you want to achieve the similar setup, right, in the traditional setup, right, if you want to kind of create these many hyper personalized communications, be it an image or video kind of a content, right, it was very
Mm-hmm.
hard. If I say 4 5 years back, right, it was really a hard problem. Right now, if you say because of the Gen AI and all, it has become still, it is definitely far easier compared to what was there in the past. But when it comes to connecting to your CRM systems, utilizing your current context, coming up with a messaging which can work, generating a content out of it, and delivering it smoothly to the distribution channels like email or WhatsApp, or maybe any of the channels client wants, right? That
Mm-hmm.
whole journey is kind of getting stitched quite well at Filter, and that becomes its USP.
Okay. Very interesting because I saw one of your LinkedIn post where Wilter I guess Wilter collaborated with Bajaj as well, right? And it also collaborated with Indigo, where the air hostess was mentioning uh, the name and the weather conditions of the city in which the person resides. So that's quite highly personalized, I believe, or you can say hyper personalized in the concept, right?
Yeah. So
Hmm.
so I'll say Bajaj is kind of pretty much, many people like Bajaj Pulsar for sure.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
one of the objectives, if you think about this kind of a campaign, right?
yeah.
The Bajaj campaign was very special for Bajaj and ourselves. And actually, we got Bajaj also got an award for it. We also got an award for it because we did the best use of GenAI into the performance marketing. And what
Mhm.
the if you try to see that campaign, right? The idea was that how each of their fan, the Pulsar fan, can be part of the Pulsar ad. So think
Okay.
about, there's a Pulsar ad where Cav, Krishna, or anyone who wants to, who's kind of interacting with the chatbot, right, can be
Yeah.
part of that ad, and you are getting that video getting served to you as an ad to you, right? And
Mhm.
that's why you are able to create the millions of copies of that ad, which is actually showing into your social media channels, or maybe TVCs, right? So that way,
Mhm.
uh, you are able to reach to millions of impressions. That is one thing. You
Mhm.
have a better personal connect. At the same time, the vibe of the, because these brands, right, when they go for these kind of a campaigns, right, they will have some kind of a persona based or kind of an objective in mind, right? For example, in case of
Mhm.
Bajaj, it was Chala Apni, where in case if you are driving and if this is the situation, what you will do, right? So you're choosing the paths there. You'll uh,
Mm.
so that was what is say. It was one of its kind of an ad which we got an opportunity to kind of work on. And
Mhm.
when it comes to the tech folks, right, I'll say that it was a great exercise in terms of the tech capabilities also,
Okay.
because doing the inferencing and doing generating all these videos, it's GPU heavy operations, right? Doing all this modeling in the background,
Right.
serving these millions of videos, maintaining the latency and throughput, right? It's a good
Mhm.
ML engineering at scale, and that's what,
Yeah.
or GenAI at scale, I can say that's what we are able to do.
Right, right. Very interesting. So we'll go deeper into how did you get into the this concept of Bajaj and how did you worked over. But first, I had this uh, thing in my mind which I'd like to ask to you. So as you told that you were at IIT Guwahati, then you got a chance to work with the Fortune 500 companies out there, right? And you worked with them, and you had a great exposure over there before you founded Whilter.ai. Okay, so, can you tell me that one exact moment which brought you to take that decision to leave that well settled Fortune 500 jobs and to enter into entrepreneurship plunge? That
Yeah,
one moment, if you can describe.
yeah. So I can say that the feeling of, what I say, having something of my own when you have the capability, I was
Mhm.
kind of wondering one day that if not now, then when? Because it's not
Hmm.
too early. So if you, yeah, it's not like I'm just starting just after the college. Already kind of you are matured enough to get both the tech capabilities or taking the decision capabilities, and at the same time not too old enough that your body is not supporting, or you have other liabilities in place, right? Liabilities there right now also, but the when I was thinking about this, right, it came it as a question that if not now, then when? And
Mhm.
I realized that this is the right time if I kind of go into this solution, right, or this platform, right? Because I was having
Mhm.
a strong belief into what we wanted to do. Actually, that's actually, I'll say that that's very much important when you try to think about something, when you try to take this kind of a decision, right? The one thing which will matter to you the most is that, are you fully engaged with the idea or the concept or the vision which you want to plant? Because that's what will hold you, right? And the second thing is
Mhm.
that, do you got the great team in, right? Do you have the best of co-founders with you or not, right? That's the team support, right? And luckily I
Mhm.
got both into this setup. And coming back to your what I say, uh, this, I'll say, is not that easy decision for anyone, right? If you are uh, like just to, like you see on Shark Tanks and all, right? People say that I've left 1 CR, 2 CR, 5 CR kind of a job and started something of that thing, right? and
Yeah.
that's actually the reality. So if you are good at what you do, right, it's not like you're not
Mhm.
getting paid into the jobs, right? You're getting well paid actually. It's a big decision that you need to kind of leave something which is, first thing, deterministic in hand, you always get. And the second thing is that you can shine there also. It's not like you cannot shine there, right?
Definitely. Yeah.
Now the question is that when you try to take something of the shot, right, it's all about the belief and the kind of gut you take, that okay, let me put my best here, this will be my own, like my child, and let me grow it, right? It can go
Okay.
anyways, it
Yeah.
can go anyways, but the feeling of what you say, having something of your own, starting something from scratch, building it, scaling it, right, that's another kind of a learning. And definitely it has what do you say, the best kind of a upstake one can get, right? Maybe no comparison with the job or any of the
Yeah.
other alternatives. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so let's get into some terminology. So I want you to explain our viewers, like as we discussed the concept of hyper personalization. Like we discussed the term hyper personalization, but we didn't discuss what it is. So can you please explain our audience what hyper personalization is exactly, and how Whilter AI is empowering brands to excel in the space of hyper personalization?
Great question. Yeah. So think about, let's first understand personalization. If
Okay.
someone says you, hey man, versus hey calf, it's taking your name, that's why you will get a better attention, that okay,
Mm-hmm.
it's not anyone out there, it's talking to me, right? That's why
Right.
when it comes to, if you see the email, whatever emails you get right now, right, pretty much you'll see that they follow some kind of a template where if someone is approaching to you for a job, right, it will be a
Right.
template where it will say, hey Kav, hey Krishna, I see that you are working on this place, I
Yeah.
have a better opportunity here, right?
Yeah.
It means that email based templatization is already there, right? Because people felt the value of it, out of it, right? So already
Mm-hmm.
you're doing the personalized part, right, where you are kind of knowing your audience, knowing whom you're talking to, and that's why that kind of a content you're creating. When it goes to hyper personalization, you think about, you're adding few more context into it. For example,
Okay.
if I'm talking to, let's take an example of e-commerce itself, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe something where a quick commerce brand, right, kind of reach out to you, right? Or maybe
Yeah.
Krishna who's in Bangalore, right? So in this case, one variable for the personalization is, okay, if I'm talking to Krishna, I know it's his name.
Mm-hmm.
I know where he lives. I know what he has purchased in the past. I
Mm-hmm.
know how is the weather of Bangalore.
Mm-hmm.
I know somehow that Krishna likes tea or coffee, and using all these n number of permutation and combination, can I come up with something where a messaging like, "Hey Krishna, on this what do you say, a rainy day or a beautiful day out there in Bangalore in the evening, I think along with your tea, this particular snacks will go well," for example, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
in this case, right, you pretty much understand the customer, and you know the context, that if I am actually reaching out to Krishna and I have a 10-minute delivery, for example, then let
Mm-hmm.
me reach out to him at 5 o'clock or 4:30, because if he nudges with this and goes for an order, I can deliver it in 10 minutes, maybe pakoda or whatever it is, right?
Mm.
Or maybe some
Yeah.
kind of sweets or something of that sort. And
Mm-hmm.
it is attached to an action or a thing which he's going to do, right? So think about it, it's
Mm-hmm.
not a very boring way of communication or very traditional way of communication. You are utilizing the default personalization variables which are there, which is name, location, and the context, city and all, which is pretty much
Mm-hmm.
there from the long time. But here
Mm-hmm.
you utilize the contextual information, or there's a chance that when you are drawing something, or maybe when you are sending a video out of this, right, you are actually coming up with a person sitting into Bangalore kind of a weather, enjoying a tea cup of coffee or a tea, and then
Mm-hmm.
having that kind of snacks which you want to sell, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all this is possible right now, and it's kind of more hyper personalized variables which are getting used. Your
Mm.
storyboarding, your communication style based on the brand preference is getting captured by the platform or the system, and you're able to do so. Hyper personalization, in my sense, or if you want to kind of summarize it, right, you can think that uh, the user profile, the current context, the time based context, all this combined, right? If you want to utilize into your scripting or your communication channels, right, or in your campaign, right, that becomes the hyper personalized communication.
Okay. Hmm. So, okay, sounds good. So, do you think AI is good enough to perform hyper personalization at a very good scale when it comes to India's diversity? Because we have so many kind of first names and last names out there. We have diversified culture out there. So, as you told, hyper personalization is something to make the other person feel like. They are being known by the device, or they are being known by the application, so they can relate it better. So is it somewhere related to the diversity, or how does is AI good at that?
Yeah. So in short, it's I'll say it's kind of 6 year old kind of a kid, if I need to
Okay.
compare it, but it's
Mhm.
growing, it's good, uh, and that's why the opportunity holds. So, for example, when it
Okay.
comes to, as you mentioned about the names, actually India is a uh, great place for building something multilingual for sure, because we have n number of Indic languages, right? In the Hindi,
Right.
Bengali, every few thousand kilometers, or maybe some 100 kilometers, you get some kind of a change into the diversity, language diversity.
Correct.
At the same time, uh, the way you pronounce those names, those are also different.
Right.
So in UP, Uttar Pradesh, I'm called Krishna. Krishna. People will call me Krishna or Krishna. In South, people will like Krishnan, Krishna. Well, there is a different way of, in Bengali, someone can say something of different short, right? Even if
Yeah.
because the pronunciations are different, right? So when it comes to learning about how to pronounce something, there's a great opportunity, and that's what we build at Whilter, right? I think there are many companies out there in India. I think Sarvam is doing quite well. There are
Yeah.
many other who are kind of working on text to speech or speech to text to speech kind of models. We have also built our foundational models on which are very good at nouns actually. So think about
Okay.
if you want to take any product name, right? Talking about something complex enough like dhania or something of that, dhania mircha or something of that sort,
Uh-huh.
to that complexity, to a very complex name, all that, right, is getting performed very well in our companies with foundational models itself. We have
Hmm.
what is say supported 22 languages, and when it comes to the scope of it, right, I can say that day by day we are seeing that we are actually able to kind of reduce the data requirement a model can have. We are still not a zero shot one, but we are very few shot kind of a modelings which are there in our case. And
Mm-hmm.
uh, because it is incremental in nature, what will happen is it's not far away that you don't need any kind of a training to speak any of the names or any of the things in, especially in the
Hmm.
Indian. So the
India
more number
language.
of volume of clients you will do, the videos or images or the content you will generate, it will help you to fine tune the system, and that's why the AI is learning. It is becoming what is a wiser day by day or older day by
Yeah.
day. So
Yeah.
that's the case.
It's kind of a reinforce, so it's learning with its previous interactions.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
the good part is that the moment you have learned, and that's what happened with the kids also, the moment you learn about a particular pronunciation, right? Somehow you are good at it. It's not like every time you need to train something of that sort, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
people, especially people who are good at multiple languages, you'll realize that when they are talking in Bengali, they will utilize that way of tone and communication, and same
Absolutely.
way with any other Punjabi or anything of that sort. So our systems or the models are smart enough to kind of figure it out that if the context is this, what should be the case. And many of the time it is code mix, because code mix is a scenario where you are utilizing more than one language, right? uh, uh,
Hmm.
be it any place, right? You'll realize that even people in India, when they are typing, right, it's not just Hindi or English, it's a combination of both, or maybe Hindi, English, or Punjabi, who
Yeah.
knows, right? It's a combination of
Yeah.
or Urdu, like that, right? So that way India becomes a perfect place for complexities. You need to understand things very well. I
Yeah.
think when I was, I'll just on. I'm not sure we have much, like. If I talk about one of the examples in the past, right? I was working on one of the search applications when I was in job itself. Uh, so for the search application, people were searching for Dhoni noodles. So they do. So idea is that you need to answer that also.
Yeah.
So you need to actually understand that this is the noodle it's he's talking about. So
Okay.
who knows that one can search for Kohli t-shirts. So you're looking for wrong t-shirts, but you don't remember the name of the brand, but you know remember the celebrity, right? So that way
Hmm.
there are complexities in Indian data, but that's the beauty that it will help us to kind of learn generically, move to AGI faster. The data
Hmm.
is the good part here in India for sure. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. So do we have any diversity in the model also? So do we only have video generation models, or does
No,
Filter AI has text to speech models of their own as well?
yeah, we have actually. So we, when it comes to ML stack, right, we have our own text to speech models, which is
Okay.
on the open source basis itself, but we have fine tuned it to the to for the best of our use cases. We have our own voice cloning model. We have
Okay.
our own lip syncing model. So our lip syncing model
Wow.
is very good for when it comes to any of the Indic languages, right? It works, outperforms pretty much whatever I have seen, at least out there in the world. And we have our super resolution model, where you can kind of convert an image or video to a super resolution. We have our face swap model. We have our virtual try on model, where you, if
Okay.
you want to try out your any of the apparels or jewelries or something of that sort, that can be done. We have our model on the avatar side, which is we are building right now. And last but not the least, we have also generated an engine which can generate the AI ads. So right now you'll see
Oh
that
wow.
on the internet, right? Soon I think I'll post few of the AI ad videos also which you have built. So the idea is that you'll see
Mhm.
whenever you open LinkedIn, right? You'll see n number of AI ads, right? I built this with
Correct.
this platform or something of this sort, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that becomes an opportunity for us also, that if a brand wants to build a very good production grade ad using AI with our platform, with what is say 50% of the time, or reducing the time to 70%, the production cost to 50%. All that is possible with the engine which you have built. So you can actually make an ad with the platform or the models which you have built. Yeah. So
Hmm.
this becomes our tech stack. We call
Okay.
it as there's a very good pet name which we have given to it. It's called Builder. What is a easy model family. So
Okay.
because we know that it's hard, so we
Yeah.
say it as easy, and we have an easy model
Playing with
family.
the psychology.
Yeah, yeah. So just
Okay.
to make sure that we don't take it as a problem, take it as
Yeah.
very easy to kind of move around. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. So, wherever you think AI can act, Wilter AI is already available or already working on that area, right? Be it lip sync, or be it making avatar, or be it text to speech, or be making ads using AI. So, we have all the models where AI can operate into different streams or different areas, right? At Wilter AI.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
very
Yeah.
interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah. So actually, that's the need of the market also, because if you
Yeah.
see that people, when you're talking to someone, right, especially we work with a lot of bigger brands or enterprises, so you, one wants pretty much all kind of packaging at one place. You don't want to kind of work with 10 kind of a platforms, or 10 kind of a vendors or companies to kind of solve 10 different things, right? uh,
Right.
the domain is same, right? When you are kind of actually talking about the, what do you say, different kind of communication channels or ads, right? They are very close because they come as the, what I say, one of the marketing budgets or one of your what I say innovation budgets, right? So if
True.
you are tackling into innovation or marketing budgets of any of the brands and enterprise, coupling all this and coming up with a package is a I believe it's a better idea. That's what we are following right
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. So, so as you told us that you have worked with many brands like Bajaj and many big brands like Bajaj and Indigo, and while I was researching about you on LinkedIn, I found that you also work with Britannia, Royal Enfield, right? So, can you tell us how do brands realize that they are in need of hyper personalization, and how do they connect with Wilter AI for the need of hyper personalization? So, are brands that aware that they are in need of hyper personalizations in the generative AI world? If yes, how do they connect with Wilter AI?
now. Yeah, one second. In this question, can I speak?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please go ahead.
In this question, na, Indigo is right now in the process actually. So we have not served it. We have
Okay,
created a demo. So I think that's the reason I
okay,
mentioned, he removed the Indigo part, right? Because
okay, okay.
who knows? Because it's not there in the public domain right now, right? So
Huh.
better you can remove the Indigo part, right? So do
Yeah.
you want to rephrase your question again? Where did you?
Yeah. I didn't mention Indigo in the question. I believe I mentioned
You
Bajaj,
mentioned.
Royal Enfield, and
No, you
Britannia.
mentioned. You mentioned. You mentioned.
Okay. 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 So I'll reframe the question. No.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. So, s- so like, as you told us that you have worked with many iconic brands like Bajaj, right? And you have also worked with brands like Britannia. So, can you tell us how these brands are aware about whether they are in need of hyper personalization or not? If they are very well aware, how do they connect with Wilter AI?
Yeah, great. So I think like one of the good part, right, about Builder is that pretty much all the brands we have worked, as you mentioned, right, we have worked with
Yeah.
Bajaj, Britannia, PolicyBazaar, Aditya Birla, Hero Motocorp. There are many actually. We have worked with many of the good brands, known brands in this. And good
Hmm.
part is that they actually know the value of personalization. They actually know the
Okay.
value of hyper personalization. They were looking forward for this kind of solutions or this kind of a thing to come out, which was actually a very costly exercise if I talk about 2 3 years back down the line, right? That was a very,
Right.
so it means the intent was there, but the solution was not there. So then it becomes very easy that the moment you reach someone,
Hmm.
it becomes a talk like this, that yeah, we you don't need to convince them that this will drive an ROI. They actually know that it will be helpful. The only thing becomes is
Hmm.
that how easily you can integrate, how quickly you can get started, understanding their campaign objectives and getting started, right? So that is one of the beauty of working or maybe building something which is pretty much very closer to what brand needs actually. And
Okay.
whenever we interact with, let me talk about how we start actually. For example, how
Hmm.
brand can reach out to us, right? If I need to
Hmm.
talk, so we have good presence in what I say in the globe, but when it comes to usually the way the thing work, right? We have already kind of great integrations with Yellow, Carix, Gupshup, and many of the channels. We are also integrating in parallel with many of the CRM known CRM based systems also. So what happens
Okay.
is their default clients will by default know that this is kind of an offering exists, right? That becomes a lead
Hmm.
product led
Hmm.
growth for us, right? In that case,
Hmm.
and when it comes to what I say, when we reach out, my sales team, when it reach out to kind of uh, reach out to the CMOs or the brands, right? Our When it comes to getting a meet, right, to represent what we can do, it's very easy, I can say, because they
Okay.
were in the need. It's still there will be drop offs. It's not like it will be 100% success rate, but the good part is that people are in need. We are solving a
Hmm.
real problem, and the expectation they have in terms of ROI generation and all, right, that's getting met because it's actually a fresh concept, which is definitely far better than the traditional way of communication. and at
Okay.
the same time it is engaging enough that you need to actually innovate on day-to-day basis, because whatever is interesting today will become boring tomorrow, right? So that's why you need to kind of you need to have that reinforcement loop in the place, that it's not like one time crack then you are not refreshing this. So content
Hmm.
fatigue or communication fatigue, right? That particular problem is already getting captured at our platform, and that's what becomes the USP for brands to choose us, where they don't need to tell us that maybe on day one or maybe day 30th the campaign is performing well. What will happen after after 45 days, right? Automatically the
Right.
system take care of that, and we have built around those lines, because we know that the fatigue is the issue which one can get into this.
Hmm. Interesting. So this was about hyper personalization. So brands are well aware about hyper personalization, right? But
Right.
what about agentic AI? Are they uh, well educated, or are they well open to adopt agentic AI, or in general generative AI into their systems? And how are they approaching towards its integration? If you can give us an idea about it.
Yeah. I think the ecosystem is very open. Good part
Okay.
is that people who know or don't know about agentic or AI, they are betting on it. So that's the good part. So it's not necessary that only the expert on the agentic side or the AI side or Gen AI side are
Mm-hmm.
praising it. Even everyone is kind of very much aligned that yes, we need Gen AI, agentic, all this, right?
Yeah.
So it's not, and that's why I see that, and that's what I've learned from the what is the industry also, that there's a lot of pressure or kind of innovation happening even in the big companies also, where people are actually thinking leadership point of view, that how I can make my system agentic, how I can utilize my services, how I can make it AI powered. Those
Okay.
thought processes are already there, and that's why this, when it comes to the question of what is say uh, getting opportunities to, when it comes to transforming something agentic using agentic AI or AI, right? It becomes a thing that which actually the next person needs. And
Mm-hmm.
if I talk about Builder AI journey itself, right? When we started, and that's what I was talking to one of the conference also in the past, where I mentioned this, that uh, on day one, pretty much I'll say pretty much if I talk about Google, Microsoft, any of the company, they were not agentic on day one actually, right? Pretty much the platform engineering
Right.
actually works. So
Right.
right now the way you see the hype on LinkedIn that agentic is the thing and other things are not great, that's not the reality, because I play the CTO, so I know the impact, that what is the real meaning of the platform engineering. I'll
Mm-hmm.
still make it as the top priority, that whenever you are thinking about what is a scalable system, right? That is the real engineering you need to apply. So platform engineering is definitely needed. You need to have the right kind of first principle approach, which you try whenever you try to build a platform or whatever is the you have done to scale things. The way agentic actually helped us in case of Wilter, right? I can say that we are also kind of great platform which was not agentic on day one, but the moment when multiple kind of brands or campaigns came in, right, we realized that each of our customers are different. Actually, they have different kind of what is say objectives in place, right? And
Mm-hmm.
when you try to define the user interface around them, right, it becomes really hard. And that was the need. It turned out that the services or the microservices which we have in the background, that's not actually this should not be just a deterministic request response kind of a flow. How we can make it more smarter, where it can follow a particular goal, it can have a state where it can take some actions on its behalf. All these
Mm-hmm.
principles came in and it make it agentic. So my suggestion to anyone who is kind of thinking about agentic is that don't think just like this, that okay, if word is doing agentic, let me do agentic. When you go think about your design patterns in your platform or in your case, you will actually come up with places where agentic or agentic kind of orchestration or architecture is right. But it's not necessary that all the places it is, right? So it's not like you need to scrap everything and then start building from fresh. You need to do step by step, like the way one moves from monolithic to microservice architecture, right?
Yeah,
Think about and there are pros and cons of both approaches, right? Same happens
definitely,
with tech, and that's why
definitely.
uh, humans in the loop is very important,
Yeah. So agentic AI is not the solution to each and every problem.
right?
It can be a possible solution. It can be a feasible solution at that point. It cannot be. So it's the human who decides that. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
many of the people will say that, oh, there will be an AI agent which can take this call. Definitely, all this will happen in future. But when it comes to production grade calls, right, or production grade, what do you say, decisions which you need to make, I'll
Hmm.
still say that the higher level architecture of the thing should be right now. It should be a combination of microservices, some what is inferencing APIs plus agentic ecosystem. So it will be a combination of all this.
Hmm. Fair enough. Very interesting. So, as we are on the topic of generative agentic AI, really sorry, as we are on the topic of agentic AI, let's talk about your visit at Intuit India on their event, which on harnessing the power of agentic AI, I believe. So, can you share your experience from that event and some key insights that could benefit the emerging entrepreneurs out there from that event?
Yeah. So it was a great event actually, and I met with a lot of great people there who were actually thinking very deep into the agentic ecosystem mindset, thinking about
Hmm.
not just uh, ideas related to the Intuit, but thinking about how broader, if we need to think about how, if we need to transform Intuit or any of the their ideas in mind, right? How they can
Right.
utilize this. I had great connects with a few of the tech side or the architect kind of a people who actually we debated a lot on how the agentic plays a good role or bad role in few of the places. And when it comes to the energy of the audience, right? If I say the kind of questions or the curiosity people had, right? Uh, I'll say that it's not, when you talk to a tech audience, right, it's not like people are just knowing the terms, they know in detail, and that's why they understand the difference, right? And that
Hmm.
becomes an interesting, at least for me it becomes very interesting to kind of talk to these kind of people back, because you can come up with new kind of a design pattern. It's not the end of the word that now agentic is there, then nothing next will come, right? How the
Yeah.
next thing will come, it will come on based on meeting with the great kind of a people, thinking of or maybe trying to solve something which is unknown. So attempting something unknown with the mindset of what you know, and thinking about what you can bring something new, right? That's the opportunity I try to utilize in few of the talks or conferences like this, right? And this visit helped me a lot. Kind of, I think I learned about the Intuit culture, Intuit, what do you say, the way the company is transforming itself, right? That
Hmm.
becomes a great thing. And if I need to take a generic example of few of my friends who are working at Microsoft, Google, or any of the big giants, right? I can say that the shipping rate there itself, they are also working as startup. So
Oh.
I'll say that the way we think, right, that if we are at some big giants, we'll be slow. That's
Okay.
not today's word for sure, because I see that when it comes to writing the code, taking things to production, those are becoming faster. Your release cycles are becoming faster. I think Sundar Pichai in one of the interviews, or I think Satya Nadella, someone said that 70% of their new code base is written by AI itself, right?
Yeah.
Actually, it's a reality. It's a reality that use, and when it is happening, right? Actually, you're saving time. Whatever was happening in
Hmm.
3 weeks is is happening in 1 week with the same efficiency, right? So
Right.
that's the new culture, new
Hmm.
way of software development. And I see that many people get confused with it, and I think I mentioned it with at Intuit also, that it's not a vibe coding or what I say prompt based coding actually. So you need to still be there because you're owning that, right? So you're owning that,
Right.
so you cannot just leave it on some platform to build something and deploy, right? You
Right.
need to be there. You need to be there on step by step, but this will help you to do the jobs better, faster,
Mhm.
right? You can utilize that to build something next, or maybe something better, right? Or maybe enjoy that time for your family or something, right? But
Right.
this particular underlying shift of software development, right? It's crazy. It's actually it's a reality, and we have seen seeing this on Wilter itself.
Very amazing. Very amazing. So let's talk about one of your achievements. Like back in 2020, you were recognized as one of the 40 under 40 data scientists, right?
Yeah.
So that's actually a very big achievement to be said, right? So can you tell us about that recognition and what it has meant for your professional journey? I know it's a very big achievement. So can you express that feeling to us if that's possible?
Yeah, it is one of our. It came as a surprise, and it was definitely uh, one of the best thing which has happened uh, till till my career. What do you say? Uh, in my journey, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
when if I see 40 under 40, right? If you ask me that the real value of it, right? I think the majority of the way I got an opportunity to work or start MLAI community, right? I was
Yeah.
in 2016, if I'm not wrong. I was actually mentoring a lot of people who want to transition from data science to, or from engineering background to data science or ML engineering. And
Okay.
because I was working on the junction of these two, right? Be it Oracle, Samsung, or InMobi, right? My journey was always that you are actually dealing with the ML stuff and the engineering stuff, right? And that way, and because from the IIT Guwahati experience, I was already having the data science and ML knowledge. That gave me a
Mhm.
beautiful picture to help any of my mentees or anyone who want to transition to this, right? So I was doing it on big scale with starting MLAI community. I was kind of at InMobi, I was kind of dealing their fraud and fraud detection suit there. uh, I think that those could be the reasons that people felt that I'll be kind of eligible. I was already doing a lot of what you say learning and sharing sessions with the community. So I think that was the. I'm not very sure. I don't know about all the criterias and all, but it was a great feeling to be connected with the ecosystem, and that transformed my life. I'll say after that, because uh, the good part is that you right till that point of a time, right? I was training to the people who were, or maybe helping the people who were actually not, they were very smart, but they're not knowing much on that dimension, right? But after
Mhm.
this, my community or my network moved in a direction that I met with a lot of people who know far better than me, right? And that
Okay.
becomes a learning game also. So when you try to share, when you try to connect with this kind of a network, right, it will help you in both. You are also kind of helping them to learn something, but at the same time, you are also learning, right? That was there in
Yeah.
my when you try to train your juniors, also you'll definitely learn in that scenario also. But it becomes a different experience when someone who has seen the industry for 20 30 years, right, is kind of interacting to you on a problem statement of what you say something in their org, right? And the feeling of able to kind of formulate that problem statement for him, right? That kind of an
Mhm.
experience actually came after this. And I'll say that this particular achievement also helped me a lot in what you say in my professional and my entrepreneurship journey also. Many of the times when we if there is a what you say any model building exercise, right? uh, and that's why it's easy models, right? Because people think that Krishna will be able to do. Okay, so that way I think this boost up a lot of confidence in me, and definitely the community and learning support which I've got from the group.
Yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So you were saying something about the model building exercise. So we can continue from there itself.
Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah. So the one of the good advantage of this recognition is that whenever I get a data science problem statement, right, uh,
Yeah.
people believe that I'll be able to do it. Okay, and that's the reason that we call in our Whilter AI, right? We call it as, and that's why we call it as a easy family or Whilter AI easy family models. I have
Hmm.
great people who are working with me. Fazal is there. There are many good people as a data scientist who are working with me in Whilter, and I think. Uh, this recognition is helping me to kind of get a few of the good clients also, or kind of growing.
Hmm. I think with this answer you are being too generous to justify the fact that you are a great data scientist. I believe you have an exponentially great knowledge in data science as far as I have researched about you, and as far as I have researched about the concept of filter AI, and I believe you are well deserved for this title. No need of justification than that, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me, as you told that you have you are the CTO of Whilter.ai, you are the co-founder of Whilter.ai, right? You also run a community of data science and machine learning, right? So you have a wide spectrum of responsibilities as far as I can see. You run a startup, you are fostering communities, and you're consulting for brands, right? So, what productivity or time management strategies help you to stay organized and efficient with the course of such diversified responsibilities?
Yeah, it's a great question. I was not very good at it. I think I can say 3 4 years back. But one thing
Mhm.
which changed my life, which I feel that it's maybe it works very well for me, and I would like to share with everyone, is that take a pen and paper and
Mhm.
plan your day. uh,
Mhm.
I do it right now also, right? Pretty much every day, right? If I need to have uh, any of the things planned, right? Not just talk about the meetings and all. I'm talking about the priorities which you have, right? If you, let's
Mhm.
say that you want to start on something where you want to invest maybe your new next set of services or modeling stuff or brainstorming something, right? Idea is
Mhm.
that you should be very clear, define your day, take the time bound activities. It means that it's not infinite, that okay, if I need to think about a particular brainstorming or particular solution, I have a whole day. No, it's actually a time that I need to finish between 10 to 11.
Mhm.
And I try to keep the, what do you say, the status related meetings or any of the way where some integrations or these kind of meetings in the second half the place.
Mhm.
The first half I try to utilize for most of the productive, what do you say, discussions, or beat any code also. I try to
Yeah.
do it in the first of the day. Uh, Not a very early guy that I start at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock like that, but I start my day around 7, which is, I think it's fair. Usually, I recommend people that when you wake up, right, and try to plan your day, or maybe you're planning it before the sleep on the previous day, right? Make sure that you should have around 2 years of 2 hours of gap between when you wake up and when you start your day. So that's a good part, that at least you can start your day at 9 or 9:15 like that.
Yeah.
And then we try to define the time bound activities, and then be the, what do you say, I'll not say the boring stuff, but the execution stuff or any of the things where you need to kind of connect, right? If you keep it in the second half, it worked quite well for me. And why I'm saying, because I've done an A/B test for this. So
Okay.
if I don't do that, and I'm not very sure, but I'll be, for example, I have a pencil right now also, right? So usually I see that there are n number of kind of ways to take the notes and plan your things, right? Plan your day to do list and all. But the thing which works for me, and which is a very basic thing, I think maybe from the childhood days, it was the practice that you can define your things into a particular piece of paper or a diary or something of that sort.
Mhm.
So I do it
Mhm.
right now also, and it works quite well. And I'll recommend everyone, if anyone is struggling with how to manage your time, uh,
Mhm.
uh, leave the overall calendar stuff and all for your meetings and all. But if you need to actually crystal clear define that, even if you need to buy a grocery, just write it down. It works. If you say that
Okay.
8 o'clock I need to grocery or something like this, it will
Uh-huh.
work. At least it works quite better to me. And the good part is that,
Mhm.
for example, if you need to plan your day in a manner that where you don't want to be fully equipped with digital stuff, still you
Mhm.
have something to play, right? Where it's not
Yeah.
necessary that if I need to figure out something, I need to check it out this. And The brainstorming part, I'll say that always, like I think I have a whiteboard also in the background. So you usually, there are a number of tools to draw things on the, what do you say, on the screen you can do. But
Mhm.
still the boarding mechanics is the best mechanism to kind of free up your brain and think more on that direction. At least it works quite well for me. Yeah.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So, lastly, I think, as you told that you emerged from the roots of Ayodhya, right? And reaching to these heights from like coming from a tier 2 city and reaching to these heights, it's really a great achievement, right? So many listeners from similar background might find your story very inspiring and very relatable. So can you advise uh, such entrepreneurs or such students out there who are listening to this podcast, or who are listening to this discussion right now, or they are so how they are trying to figure out their path and make an impact into their careers out there? So how should they proceed? How should they utilize AI into their workflows or into their day-to-day use cases? And more importantly, how should they, never how should they bear that never give up attitude, despite having from the tier 2 city? So can you guide us through that?
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's a bliss to be, if you are from a small town, right? I think that's a
Hmm.
great thing to be. So many of the time we think that being in metros is the best thing to have. That also comes with
Okay.
an advantage, but small towns also have an advantage which I feel it's very big, where you have not all the resources available, right? And that way, what will happen is that you will be need in some kind of a solutioning approach, where you are able to kind of have some jugaad techniques or something, right? So you'll be definitely sharp, street sharp guy for sure, right? That's the beauty of when you have some kind of a struggle around, right? By the way, there's a great place, so it doesn't have any kind of a struggle like this.
Yeah,
but
yeah, definitely.
but but when it comes to small places, right? I think one of the things I would like to, and I think many of the great leaders say this, that whenever you are in troubling times, you'll
Mm-hmm.
be better, well prepared. And that's what happens if you see the AI ecosystem also, right? I think we are trying to run the models which are running on the westward on GPUs, trying to be on the CPUs, because we want to. So it's not unlimited infrastructure. We try to do something on the affordable basis, something with constraint, right? And that becomes
Mm-hmm.
the real innovation. I think the movie when we reach to the moon, right? If you see, right, the per kilometer cost was less than auto, I think, right? So if you see
Yeah.
that kind of innovation comes when you have some constraint in mind, right? And as a data scientist, when you see, or if you're trying to build something from small towns, right, think it as a beauty that these constraints will help you to become much smarter to deal with them. uh, if you're starting something on data science, agentic, or any of the industry related tracks, pretty much all data science problem statement will have a constraint, and that's why you need to solve that, so that
Yeah.
you're already dealing in life, so you can learn a lot from them, a lot from that. And if you see the today's world, right, actually the internet or the connectivity is there in metro cities also, small towns also. how you would like to utilize that. You can get the same kind of a mentor if you're sitting in Ayodhya or in Bangalore. You can get similar kind of a stuff, right? How you want to
Mm.
do that change, right? How you want to utilize that. Definitely there is a surrounding effect which comes if you are in some places, for example, Valley or Bangalore or any of this sort, right? There will be chances that technical ideas are more discussed here, but it's not all about technical ideas itself. You can actually utilize agentic for building some kind of a great business in, or maybe doing something which can solve something for your city problems, or maybe something which your colony is kind of getting what is a challenged at, right? So there is a
Mm-hmm.
lot of opportunities, and uh, starting from some place where these things doesn't exist, that also has a challenge, that okay, definitely people need to trust on you, but the moment you prove yourself one time, right, it becomes you become the hero of that place, that you're it's not like there are thousands of heroes, right? You are the one, and that's why there is a good opportunity that people will trust you better locally compared to someone who is maybe sitting outside that place, right? So there
True,
are
true.
opportunities where you can build great companies from your place. If your product has the right traction, or maybe right value proposition, definitely the place will be not a problem. And as you mentioned about never give up attitude, right? I think
Yeah.
this is the time, right? I think I was reading some kind of a research where people say that initially people were going for a job because they wanted roti kapda makan or something of that sort, the basic needs. But
Yeah.
right now the youth is not behind on these terms. They want respect, they want what you say, how is the future growth look like, how is their what you say, the overall the way they want to experience life looks like, right? So all
Mm.
these factors in, right, India is in a beautiful place where you can actually choose. And there are infinite number of problems still exist in India which needs to be tackled, right? It's not just the problems of what I say, which you see on the social terms. There are,
Mm-hmm.
even if you go for technical problems, right? Each city will have, or each location will have their own kind of a problems, right? And that's why you
Right.
will see that people are building LLMs in Bengali language, LLMs in this, that, because that's actually the need. There is a chance that if you want to build an uh, what do you say, if you want to make a movie reality, right, you want to make an AI movie, right? And
Yeah.
if you have a
Yeah.
great model for Hollywood and Bollywood, maybe that will not work for Bhojpuri movies, right? You'll need a different kind of an approach. So why
Correct.
cannot someone from that region can build this ground up, right? So that kind of
Yeah.
opportunities in India it exists, and because of the good ecosystem from Startup India, or the kind of way the Indian government is kind of promoting this, right? I think we have. Great opportunities for startup funds and all, right, which was not very easy in the past. Uh, I think
Mm-hmm.
great grants are available. UP is growing quite well actually. UP is doing very well in this area. So there are great opportunities to build from this small towns itself. Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. So, wherever there is internet, you can you have access to everything, whether you are sitting in a tier two or tier one. If you have internet, you just have need to have that willingness to achieve something, that fire inside yourself to do something out of your life, and do something better for the community, to serve community better. So
Right.
it's just that willingness you need to have inside yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So I feel that covers all my questions and queries which I had in my mind. Thank you so much for being on the AI Bro show. And I would definitely recommend each and everyone watching this podcast to, check out Whilter AI, and make sure to check Krishna on his LinkedIn profile. He definitely posts a lot interesting content out there related to Whilter AI and improvements in the agentic AI world. And few closing words if you like to address to our viewers watching this podcast.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, and thanks, Caf, for kind of having me here. It was a great
Yeah.
interaction with you, and all the best wishes to your audience too. I think this is the time to build from India to global scale. We
Mm-hmm.
need to be bold, fearless, and play it well. There is a big opportunity out there, and I strongly believe that India has that capability and intelligence and the mindset which is required. So all the very best. We need to kind of make India proud.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Krishna.
Thank
And
you.
we believe that we'll see you in our future endeavors and our future videos with many more startup leaders and many more entrepreneurs coming on our show. And we'll have a common discussion over there, definitely. Thank you so much.
Sure, sure. Looking forward.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.